What's up, people? We are live once again. We did have a podcast earlier to talk about what was going on in the world of combat sports, but we are back once again, joined with our guest Tyler Miller. Tyler, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. Thank you for asking.
So you've got a fight coming up. I believe it's August 6th with Valley Fight Series.
Yes, sir.
So are you? I mean, we're over a month out. Are you in training camp right now? What's going on with you in the way of preparing for this fight?
Honestly, um, not to make my opponent sound like light work, but I don't really feel like he's going to be too much of a threat. I'm just sticking to the game plan that I always stick to, which is trying to exploit my opponent's weaknesses. And I just don't feel like this guy is like strong enough to really go anywhere with me. Whether it ends up on the ground, he's going to get overpowered. If it comes to power shot, significant strike, excuse me, significant strikes, I feel like he's going to be the one taking the brunt of the damage. So I'm just keeping it simple, keeping the training technical, and yeah, just focusing where I excel and where I think my opponent's going to be weak at.
Now, how did you get into doing MMA?
I used to fight a lot in high school. There's actually a couple videos up of me street fighting. I kind of just went off track in life. Um, Started getting into trouble, and then one day I was sitting down and I was watching UFC, the video game actually. I was watching my friends play it, and I thought to myself, I was like, "Yo, holy shit, like I can do this." And just because of my street fighting, I guess like I just know I have more dog in me than most people. It's one thing to get out there and to go have technique and skill, which is all necessary in the fighting world, but there's one thing that you really can't teach, and that's heart. That's something that's kind of got to be in you, because you can be like the most technical motherfucker on the planet, but if you can't take a punch, well, good luck. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I kind of just gravitated towards it because I just knew I had the heart for it, and I knew I had the athleticism for it. And I started getting adequate training. I had my first, like, I guess you could say, somewhat sanctioned bout on Street Beefs. Um, and after that, I took an amateur MMA fight and kind of just kept progressing from there.
Now, how did you get involved in it? Like you saw the UFC video game, and what school
Uh,
did you go to? Like, how did you jump into it?
okay, well, I started training at home independently. Then I fought on Street Beefs. I got a win. And then I reached out to some promotions. They gave me a fight because they thought my Street Beef fight was pretty impressive. I actually fought against somebody who has a submission over AJ Fletcher, who's a current UFC fighter right now. That was my debut fight. Me being arrogant at the time because I'd never taken a loss. I just took it. Like they said, he's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Let's do it. And we got in there and we got into it. And like my strikes were too fast for him, but I mean, as soon as he felt like the impact and he seen the speed, he just canceled it out, shot for a takedown, put me in a rear naked choke. I was out in the first round. I think I had like 3 minutes into the fight, or excuse me, 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the fight. I got submitted. They gave me another opportunity, and then I came back, and then I knocked somebody out with the uppercut in the first round. And then I guess from there it was kind of just a roller coaster ride of like me trying to train myself, dealing with personal issues I had outside of the gym, and yeah, it really affected my Miami record. Honestly, I thought about quitting quite a few times. And then I joined Trifecta MMA. As you know, it's ran by a former UFC fighter, Marion Renault, and her husband Mondo Perez. and they really like, I guess, like helped me get my confidence back. They gave me like kind of structure, and they also really helped. One of my weakest spots was which was my ground game, and now I'm kind of like on a winning streak because nobody really wants to fight me because it's like, I'm not trying to sound arrogant. I'm just being honest with you. Like, I hit way above my size. Like, I walk around at about 160 pounds. I fight at bantamweight, and I spar with like welterweights, middleweights, heavier guys, and they all tell me that, dude, you hit pretty hard for your size. And I'm just getting in this cage, and I don't know. All I can tell you is like this gym really has like brought back the beast mode in me. Like it's kind of like resurrected me. And I appreciate all the work and everything that Trifecta has put into me because it's really going to show when I get in there August 5th. I mean, if you go back and look at my last 3 fights, every fight that I fight, it's like I force you to be a dog. Whether we're going to grapple, whether we're going to strike, I'm not going to stall the fight. You know what I mean? I'm going to force my opponent to be a dog. Either way, me and you are going hard the entire time. So, yeah, I appreciate my gym for really bringing that back out of me. Being an independent fighter it wasn't the smartest choice, but I definitely learned a lot of lessons and gained a lot of experience that I wouldn't have gained just jumping straight into a traditional gym.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you more okay with how you've gotten to be at that gym rather than maybe, like you said, just going straight into a gym, being coached right away? Do you think maybe things would have ended up differently for you if you did do that path instead?
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, this is one of them scenarios where I'd say the path less traveled was the path worth taking, because I'm telling you, like I met a lot of different connections. I know like a lot of different people. Like some are doing bare knuckles, some are doing PFL, UFC, whatever, So like I've been around. I've fought in Florida, Mississippi, Tennessee, California, and this is all basically, me just networking and finding fights. And I've got to meet a lot of different characters. I've got to meet a lot of different like styles, whether it comes to coaching, running businesses, this, that, and the other. So I kind of got a spectrum to where I can see like what is a good promotion, what is a lesser promotion, what I can weigh risk reward a little bit better. So um, I would say that going off and I guess making mistakes on my own and learning from things that I had to just, I guess, learning by trial and error sometimes is more of an effective way of getting shit done than just traditionally somebody giving you a textbook or somebody just showing you shit. Like I've seen a lot of like UFC fighters come into the game, and they have like a shitload of hype around them, fan base, exposure, this, that, and the other. So for me to go through what I've gone through at such an early stage in the game, keep in mind, like I have like almost 15 amateur fights. So at this stage in the game, like I'm kind of grateful because you see like guys really going pro after like 5 or 6 fights. You know what I mean? 4 fights, they go undefeated and they just jump into the pros. And you'll notice like a lot of the foreigners, from my opinion, like the guys that come out of Russia, Brazil, this, that, and the other, Thailand, they have like fucking 200 plus fights on the AMI circuit,
Yeah.
and by the time they go pro, they're just like their mind is so conditioned for that transitionary period. Um, it shows when they get into the cage. I mean, they're just so confident. Everything is deliberate, and they push through adversity. And you'll see like a lot of fighters that are just kind of be on the fast track to stardom and the fast track to fame. They'll try to just cut their way through everything, and like the moment that they run into adversity or a problem, you'll see it kind of like domino effect. You know what I mean? They can't handle a loss, and then they take another loss, and next thing you know, their mind's all cloudy, and it's not the same fighter anymore. You know, and they become memes. You see it all the time, and I'm kind of glad that I've gone through this fall and rise at the amateur level, because now when I step into the pro circuit, I kind of know what to expect. You know what I mean? As far as um, I know what to expect as far as the way people will perceive you if you lose. People will perceive you if you win. Doesn't matter if you have an off night, injury, whatever. People are there to see results. You know what I mean? So I've kind of got a really good perception for the way the fight game plays out. So I'm looking forward to turning pro, and I feel like I got the business side of it down just as much as I do the mixed martial arts side.
How many more amateur fights do you think you're going to do before you go pro?
Honestly, I feel like this is the last one. I wanted to go pro after my last fight because, like, the whole time that I've been fighting, wrestling has been kind of like my Achilles heel, because you know when you street fight, typically when the fight goes to the ground, they're like stand up, put your hands up, okay, keep going. So that was kind of like my Achilles heel. So my last fight, you know, I did like a Kimura throw. I suplexed somebody, which is like an advanced wrestling move, and I've only been selling wrestling for like a year, and I just completely like mauled my opponent on the ground. And everybody knows like my striking is pretty solid. So after seeing that, I was thinking to myself, you know what, now is the time to go pro off of this momentum. But Valley Fight Series gave me an opportunity, and I feel like it's only right to at least go back and defend the belt one time before I say sayonara. You know what I mean?
Now, do you get to keep that belt after you defend it, or how's that work?
They actually let us keep the belt, so I'm pretty happy
That's
about that.
cool.
That's good. Yeah, it was Trifecta the first gym you went to as far as actually getting professional training?
Well, honestly, like I'd say when I actually got on the AMI circuit, the first gym that I went to originally was Outlaw MMA, but it's now called Tusk MMA. But that's where I started off going, and it was a cool gym, you know. But I just felt like, you know, something that it's a saying that gets passed around all the time, you know. You want to be around people who have already been where you're trying to go, you know. And if I have an opportunity to train with somebody who's already met Sean Shelby, talked to Dana White, been on
Yep.
that stage, I want to be around that energy, you know. So that was a big factor in, you know, why I chose Trifecta. But why I stayed was because, you know, the talent there and the consistency there was pretty refreshing. Everybody there is held to a high standard, and you know, as long as you give your best effort, usually the results will show. But even if you fall short, you know, as long as you give your best effort, you know, the team's behind you. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I do think that you're right about being around people that have already been there, who have a name in there that, may have a better connection than someone that doesn't at all. I know there's so many gyms out there that no one even knows about because whoever's running it
Yeah,
was not a professional. They're just a really good coach or whatever. So yeah,
yeah,
I think that's a smart move to go somewhere who, obviously Marion is in UFC, did very well. She has a big name, and I hear really good things about that gym, regardless, whether it comes to like jujitsu or the striking or whatever, all the training. She's a very well established gym out there. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, I feel like I heard a lot of people say that if you surround yourself with people that are professionals or that are in
mhm,
that, in that crowd, you kind of automatically get in there too, or at least you know what it's all about so that you're not blindsided when you do get into one.
exactly, exactly. It's definitely like basically the reason why I'm starting to get so good is because I'm held to the same standard that of people that have been doing this, way longer than me. So, and on top of that, when you have somebody of that pedigree in your corner, that's a target on your back automatically. That's definite bragging rights for another gym. So I just feel obligated to perform every time I go out there under this banner. So yeah.
Yeah, and at that gym when you got there, did they have to, like, I don't know how to say it, maybe like dismantle some habits you had before and rearrange some things for you to where you are now a different fighter, or are they just enhancing what you already have?
It's a little bit of both. They really try not to take away too much from me. The only thing is, like, they've really changed me from like being just a reckless brawler, because that's kind of what I was at one point. I was just wanted to go in there and just like toe to toe and just swing and bang. You know what I mean? But now it's more so like, okay, how can I hit you without getting hit? Like, I don't mind standing in the pocket with you, but I also don't want to get rocked by you either. You know what I mean? So it's one thing that they've really done is they've really helped me with my ability to give damage without taking damage, and they've also made a little changes to my stances, and also they turned me into a complete mixed martial artist, because I mean, when I first got into the gym, like they gave me props. They told me that my striking was definitely it had some potential to it, and the wrestling was really what needed work. And now they've got it to where like I can take my opponents down, I can keep them down, I can look for submissions, or I can just break them down, wear them out, and just make them exhausted to where when they do stand up, it'll be a TKO because they can't defend themselves. So yeah, they've really just done a lot to make me a complete mixed martial artist, but also a more intelligent mixed martial artist as well.
Was it when you do jujitsu? Do you do gi?
I do I do gi. Like, we have like I think about four gi classes out of the whole week, and I think I go about 3 times a week to gi. But I'm telling you, it's not my cup of tea. I learn it just because I believe in discipline. You got to do stuff you hate like you love it sometimes. But man, gi compared to no gi is just like it's like two different languages, man.
Yep,
It's
night and day.
crazy. Like, yeah, you like somebody will have like a grip on your collar, then the next thing you know, like they'll do some spinning shit, and, like you just can't breathe. And you're just like, bro, what the hell just happened? Hold up, like I need to process this. But yeah, I love gi. Honestly, just because it's more towards on the MMA side. But I'll get out there in the gi. I'm a good sport about it. You know what I mean?
All right, I want to know, where did you get your nickname Bloodthirsty from?
Oh, dude, it's just always been me, dude. Like, I'm not like when a fight breaks out, like if I start talking shit to somebody during a fight, like I genuinely like I'm in the zone. Like, I'm not doing that to make a scene. I'm not trying to get extra attention or bragging rights or trying to make myself look or hype myself up. Like, that's my authenticity. If you see me in the cage, like, I don't know, but I feel like when I get hurt, like a different, like I don't look for a way out. Like, when I get hurt, like a whole different side of me comes out, and that's where the name Bloodthirsty comes from. Because it's like there's been times where if you go on my Facebook page, like there's whole bunches of like photos of like me covered in blood, back of my head covered in blood, and it's all from like me getting into fights and getting jumped by people, because like I'll beat up one of their friends so fast, like their pride's hurt, and then like I get rushed and a whole bunch of shit pops off. But I take at least one or two of them some bitches down with me, so it's all good. But I mean, that's where I got my name from. Like, everybody knows, like I don't back down from a fight. I don't care if there's like 10 of you, like 8 of you, whatever. Like, I'm taking at least two of you some bitches down with me. So it's all good.
So, where can people find you on social? How can they reach out to you?
Um, Bloodthirsty Miller is my Instagram handle. And if you want to follow me on Facebook, it's Tyler Donnell Miller. That's my Facebook fan page. So yeah, those are the two best places to find me.
And last question: is there anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to shout out my team, Trifecta MMA. You know, everybody down there for holding it down and helping mold me into the fighter that I am today. Um, VFS for giving me my first title shot, giving me promo, and actually giving me a chance to like put on these exciting shows. You know, because honestly, it makes me feel good to be able to inspire people and I guess elevate people's emotions and such. It's such a weird thing, man. How violence and combat between two people can elevate people's spirits, man. I don't know what it is, but it's magical. So shout out to VFS for giving me the platform to do that. And shout out to my sponsor, Geo's Full Throttle in Lindsay, California. And shout outs to you guys for giving me an opportunity to speak my piece and
Yeah.
give you a little information about myself.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, man. That's what we try to do. We try to get the word out. We appreciate local fighters. You guys make the world go around for us.
Mm-hmm.
So of course we love to have you guys on and do interviews. All right, Tyler, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We can see you compete in Valley Fight Series August 5th.
August 5th, I think.
Yeah, it'll be
Thursday
August 5th at the Hanford Civic Center.
at the Hanford Civic Center. Thank you. You can catch Tyler competing for the bantamweight. It's bantamweight, and you're competing for the belt, or you have the belt. You're defending.
I'm defending the belt. Yeah,
You're
it's my
defending.
last
That's
MMA
right.
fight. I'm defending the belt. Yeah.
You were defending your bantamweight belt. Good luck, man. We look forward to checking you out in that fight. So we will definitely be there for that one.
All right, let's get it, man.
Have a good one, and we will talk to you later.
All right, brother. Peace.
Later. And that's going to do
brother.
it for us with our special interview. Thanks again to Tyler, and we will see you guys next time.